I think we should start because I see that most of the people are leaving, so please come back or close the door. Thank you. Well, the introduction was made by Mrs. Moropoulou. It's the panel discussing about bridging heritage stakeholders of art, science, industry, and the society. So, welcome. Yes. When I come from the Ministry of Culture and I served there for 40 years. So when we first, when I first started working there, everything was about documentation and we were doing some conservation. After a few years, we went to the next stage, which was about documentation, conservation, and some restoration. Then we did restoration, and then we started to do enhancement. Now, today, I heard about the next stage, which has to do with the memory twin, which means enhancing not just the building itself, the monument and the building, or not just its history, but its social value, how it is understood by the people, how we want to perpetually understand and address the monument, what is the connection with it. And for this brilliant idea, I have to recognize that Mrs. Moropoulou is a genius, because yes, this is key. So we had the strategy of transdisciplinary collaboration and working together in order to do all these stages of documentation, restoration, preservation, and enhancement of the monuments. Recently, as our Minister, Mrs. Mendoni has mentioned, and it's true for quite a few years, the restoration of monuments and monuments themselves, and generally the cultural heritage, is the fourth pillar of our economic growth. So it has an economic value for our country, and not only. But what about the social value? This comes now, this gap is filled, and the memory and meaning, which I thought it could never be digitized, now the attempt is being given with Evlogon. Congratulations for that. Now, our strategy so far was to have this disciplinary working together about the previous steps. What about the digital twin? What about not just the digital twin, the memory twin now? What about the next era that includes digitization of memory and identity? We have to incorporate that in our policies. It's one of the stakeholders. I know you have prepared something, but if you have something to say about the policy of incorporating the memory, even if it is memory twin, how this is going to change the way we view monuments and ourselves. So we begin with Mr. Kritikos Eleftherios. No, he's not here. I'm sorry. Yes, you've mentioned that. And Mr. Makedas is not here. So Mr. Konstantinidis Christoforos as well is not here. Yes, there is a letter of Mr. Makedas, which I have to read then. Dear panel chair, esteemed panelists, distinguished guests, and attendees of the 4th International TMM-CH conference. It was a genuine honor to be invited to participate in this panel. I sincerely regret that unforeseen personal circumstances prevent me from being with you today for this crucial discussion on bridging heritage stakeholders. The theme of connecting art, science, industry, and society for preserving our cultural heritage is more important than ever. While I cannot join the dialogue in person, allow me to briefly share 3 perspectives I believe are fundamental to building these essential bridges. First, we must continuously strengthen the critical link between scientific knowledge and practical application. Engineering science excels at translating complex understanding into tangible results, and we must fully leverage this power for the unique challenges of cultural heritage preservation. It's about turning insight into action. Second, the vital role of professional bodies and funds like TMM here in Greece. TMM acts as conduits connecting the extensive capabilities and expertise within our technical industries directly with the broader societal needs and goals related to safeguarding our shared heritage. And third, the vital bridge of sustainable finance. Reliable, long-term funding is essential. Financial institutions, including Attica Bank, as a key component of the emerging fifth pillar of the Greek banking system, can be instrumental in developing the innovative financial solutions and dedicated tools needed to ensure the lasting preservation and viability of our invaluable cultural heritage projects. Successfully weaving together practical application, organized industry expertise, and sustainable finance is key to the effective transdisciplinary cooperation of this conference so rightly promotes. I wish you all a very productive and insightful discussion today and a successful conference overall. Thank you, kind regards, Konstantinos Makedos, President of TMM. So I proceed to not Mr. Zafiris Vasilis, but his sister, I suppose? His daughter. Yes, of course, his daughter, yes. Mrs. Zafiri Stella.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank Professor Moropoulou for giving me this opportunity to be here and present the technical company EP Zafiri, which undertook the restoration of two significant monuments, the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem and the Monastery of Varnakova in Greece. These projects transcend mere technical challenges. They are bridges connecting history, science, and culture, reinforcing our responsibility to preserve humanity's most treasured heritage sites. The restoration of the Holy Sepulchre was a project of profound international significance. This sacred site has withstood centuries of natural decay and structural instability. Addressing these challenges required an approach that combined cutting-edge technology with deep historical respect. We employed non-destructive testing methods, 3D imaging, and advanced conservation techniques, allowing us to diagnose the monument's condition without compromising its integrity. The collaboration with the National Technical University of Athens was instrumental in analyzing materials and designing sustainable restoration solutions, ensuring that the methods used were both effective and respectful of the site's authenticity. An equally crucial aspect of this endeavor was navigating the delicate balance of cooperation with the three Christian communities responsible for the Church's administration. The Greek Orthodox, Armenian Apostolic, and Roman Catholic communities each have deep-rooted traditions and perspectives regarding the Holy Sepulchre preservation. Through continuous dialogue, mutual understanding, and a shared vision for the monument's future, we successfully carried out a restoration that honored the spiritual and cultural significance of the site while maintaining its physical stability. Similarly, the restoration of the Monastery of Varnakova posed its own set of unique challenges. The monastery, which has endured fires, earthquakes, and the passage of time, required a highly specialized approach to maintain its architectural character while reinforcing its structural integrity. Our efforts revealed invaluable artistic and historical elements, including significant frescoes and an intricate mosaic floor, both of which shed light on the rich craftsmanship of the past centuries. Working closely with the monastic community, as well as local authorities and cultural preservation experts, we ensured that the restoration process respected the monastery's religious functions. The involvement of the Metropolitan Bishop and the nuns of the monastery was invaluable in guiding the project to completion in a manner that honored the site's spiritual essence. In both of these projects, the integration of modern technology with traditional restoration practices played a pivotal role. The use of 3D documentation allowed us to create precise models of the structures, aiding in the planning and execution of necessary reinforcements. Additionally, non-invasive material analysis enabled us to select appropriate restoration materials that closely match the originals, ensuring both structural and aesthetic continuity. The global impact of these restoration efforts extends beyond the physical conservation of the monuments themselves. The restoration of the Holy Sepulchre, in particular, gained worldwide attention through its coverage by National Geographic, bringing greater awareness to the importance of cultural heritage preservation. These projects serve as examples of how international collaboration, scientific advancement, and respect for tradition can come together to safeguard historical sites for future generations. As a company, we did not simply carry out technical work. We became integral partners in the interdisciplinary effort that combined engineering, archaeology, art conservation, and religious diplomacy. The knowledge and expertise gained from these projects have further strengthened our ability to tackle complex restoration challenges, reinforcing our commitment to preserving historical landmarks with the highest level of professionalism and care. The significance of this restoration is already evident. The Holy Sepulchre remains a site of pilgrimage and spiritual devotion, now structurally fortified for generations to come. The monastery of Varnakova has been revitalized, allowing it to continue serving as a center of religious and cultural life. These successes reaffirm the essential role of conservation efforts in maintaining our global heritage. In conclusion, the work of preserving historical monuments is not just a technical endeavor. It is a moral obligation. It is a commitment to ensuring that the stories, artistry, and faith embedded in those structures are not lost to time. Let us continue to unite the fields of art, science, and industry in pursuit of this noble mission, safeguarding the past so that it may inspire the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It's really a very impressive project. Now we go forward to Mr. Stylianou, Platonas Stylianou. Are you the General Secretary or from the General Secretary of the Executive Board of Cyprus Scientific and Technical Chamber? Yes, is it correct? Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Platonas Stylianou. I'm the first Vice President of the Technical Chamber of Cyprus, and I'm the President of the European Council of Civil Engineers. Professor Moropoulou, I would like to thank you for inviting us to this international scientific conference. It's a great honor to represent here both ETEC and ECHE, and congratulations for your initiative and for your continuous effort for preserving our culture and our heritage. So my topic today is bridging heritage, stakeholders, art, science, industry, engineers, and society. And we all know how difficult this is. It's not an easy task to bridge all these stakeholders. So the preservation and promotion of our cultural heritage require collaboration across the various sectors, the combination of art, the combination of science, the true knowledge of engineering and industry, and of course the society. And all these together, they create sustainable and innovative solutions that we all need in order to protect our historical and cultural identity. And the key aspect for this is interdisciplinary collaboration for the preservation and promotion of our cultural heritage, the contribution of science and technology, the contribution of industry and entrepreneurship, the social responsibility and public participation, and of course, the active role of art in cultural heritage. All of these partners have to work together and collaborate in order to have the greatest result. So, as I already have spoken, this collaboration is needed between the various sectors. Heritage conservation is not just about protecting monuments, but it's also about ensuring that future generations can experience and learn from the past. And only if we study the past, we can have a better future. And we need to have a better future for our monuments and for the young people and the young generations to come. So we need these items to come together and create sustainable strategies for heritage management and protection. And these heritage stakeholders are the professionals, architects, engineers, conservators, archaeologists, materials experts, 3D experts, drone experts, a lot of experts in this, the academia and the universities that they always collaborate and create the basic knowledge for us, and the professional need to take this basic knowledge and all this knowledge taught in the universities and implement it into their studies. You should never forget the basics that you are taught in the universities. You need the governmental bodies to establish policies, to give the special funding that is needed to the monuments, because without funding, nothing can be done. And of course, to set up the correct legal framework. You need the correct legal framework. You need a legal framework not to be that strict, but not to be that open, because if it is too open, we know what will happen. If it's too strict, nothing will happen. We need the museum and the galleries to preserve and present cultural treasure to the public. We need the research institution through the academy to conduct studies on preservation techniques and do all is needed with historical accuracy. We need the archaeologists and the historians to investigate and interpret with cultural assets. We need the local communities to act as the custodians of traditional and practices, and we need the private sector and industry to provide the special funding, the innovative solution, and the sustainable and tourism initiatives. The scientific contribution to the heritage preservation, you are all experts here, you know what is needed: 3D scanning, digital communication, creating precise digital replicas of historical monuments for correct archive, restoration, and research. You need to have the correct archive, because if you don't have the correct archive with all the data, nothing can be done. You need material analysis, utilizing chemistry, physical, mechanical, determination to examine the composition for the characteristics and to seek and stick the desecration of ancient structures. You need the climate monitoring to evaluate the environmental risk and implementing protective measures against weathering and pollution, but also against extreme weather events and climate change. I was very happy to see the yesterday's session on the climate change. And as the European Council of Civil Engineers, we have furnished Professor Moropoulou with a recent manifesto for the resilient infrastructure against climate change. And we are very happy to sign also the Athens Declaration when it is done. Also, artificial intelligence and machine learning assisting in the reconstruction of lost heritage sites based on historical records. And now, of course, we have the role of industry and professional in heritage conservation. You can see this graph there is produced by AI. I just furnished all the data, and AI gave me this magnificent graph. So use AI, but use it correctly. It was another panel discussion that we saw here. Sustainable building materials, developing innovative materials that replicate traditionals with enhancing durability and ensuring proper cooperation and bonding within the existing original material. Inspect and monitor. We have to develop new codes and guidelines for regular inspection and monitoring of monuments. It's something that we are missing, not only in Greece, not only in Cyprus, but in Europe as well. Technology transfer. You have to implement the advanced industry technique in heritage restoration. We have to check for tourism and economical development, promoting cultural tourism to generate revenue for the conservation efforts. We have to have revenue on this stuff. So we need to create this, to develop that thing. And finally, corporate sponsorship and philanthropy, providing financial support for restoration projects and cultural exhibitions. And then we have, most of us here are engineers. We need to see the pivotal role of engineers. The engineer serves as the backbone of cultural heritage preservation, applying their expertise in structural integrity, material science resilience, and environmental sustainability. Their role extends from assessing the stability of historical buildings to designing restoration solutions that respect the original architecture. Through structural and seismic retrofitting, climate-resilient materials, and advanced structural modeling, engineers ensure that ancient sites withstand the test of time and natural disaster. Some years ago, it was only the test of time. Now it's natural disaster, it's climate change, it's a lot of stuff. Additionally, their contribution to innovative scanning and documentation techniques enable precise analysis and restoration without compromising authenticity. By bridging technical advancement with cultural preservation, engineers provide the foundation upon which conservation efforts can thrive. And then we have the challenges in cultural heritage conservation, urbanization and infrastructure development, climate change and natural disaster, conflict and political instability, funding and resource allocation. And we have the future direction in heritage conservation. In order to have the future of heritage conservation and to shape it by innovation and interdisciplinary collaboration, we need to foster collaboration. We need to open dialogue and cooperation between governmental agencies, academics, industry, and communities that are essential for effective heritage management. We need to embrace innovation, utilize cutting-edge technologies to enhance conservation methods, making heritage sites more resilient to environmental and structural changes, promote sustainable policies, educate and engage, and invent in research and funding. So we need to support projects that advance scientific approach to restoration and heritage adaptation. All the pictures, all the photos you see in my presentation are from monuments and sites in Cyprus that were restored, they were preserved, and now they are open to public for their visits. Finally, my conclusion, preserving cultural heritage is a shared responsibility that requires cooperation across multiple sectors. By connecting heritage stakeholders, including art, science, industry, academia, engineers, and society, we ensure the sustainable protection and promotion of our collective past for future generations. The future of our heritage lies in our ability to unite as a global community, leveraging science and industry to protect, sustain, and celebrate our shared philosophy. Bridging heritage, stakeholders, science, and industry is not merely a concept, it's a necessity. By working together, we can ensure the cultural heritage remains a source of knowledge, identity, and inspiration for generations to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Stylianou. And now, if we are connected, we can proceed with Mr. Katziotis Marios, who is Group Head of Research and Development in Titan Cement Group. There. So, if we are connected, can we hear you? Can you hear? You can hear us, but can we hear you?
I can hear you. I hope you can hear me well.
That's great. So, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Androulidaki. Esteemed guests, esteemed members of the panel, Professor Moropoulou, It's great to be here. I'm sure I could not make it in person. Extraordinary conditions made it very difficult for me to participate in person. I'm very pleased and thank you very much, Professor Moropoulou, for the kind invitation to participate in this year's conference. I'd like to share a few slides. My presentation is more about how we perform innovation, how we handle innovation in Titan Cement Group. And I hope you can see my screen. I assume you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Great. So I know most of you know Titan Cement Group. We are a Greek-based or Greek-originated multinational offering cement and concrete and other products and services in more than 25 markets across the globe, with a strong presence in Europe and US and the Middle East. And I'd like to to tell you more about our strategic priorities. I heard earlier about how we address the challenge of climate change, as well as digitalization. And for Titan, our strategies are focused about offering new products with sustainable and improved and strong sustainable profile, as well as applying digital and new technologies. One of the things we're most proud is that in our sector, in the cement sector, we are one of the companies that has launched initiatives related to the digital transformation early on. And a very great example of this is our newest subsidiary since 2022. Titan is offering AI-inspired digital services to other industrial players, which have been developed within Titan. We are committed to reducing our carbon emissions in line with the scenarios that have been put forward, the so-called 1.5 degree scenario. And we are making progress well towards this target, which by 2030 will lead to reducing our carbon emissions below the level of 500 kilos of CO2 per ton of product. And towards that, we're taking many different actions. One of them is also the so-called project Iphistos. Iphistos follows on R&D projects that we have completed and have undertaken with academic, industrial, and other partners. Iphistos is meant to be the largest so far announced project for carbon capture and sequestration. The goal is to capture approximately 1.9 million tons of CO2 per year and produce about 3 million tons of zero carbon cement to serve the needs of the Attica region and other markets as well. Going on to our innovation, our vision for innovation, which is related to our overall strategy. We want to lead the transformation of construction materials. We want to continue pioneering sustainable new technologies and offer an extended range of products and services to our customers that enhance the resilience of infrastructure, promote the well-being of communities, and minimize the environmental impact. To do so, we collaborate closely. We have been doing this practically always, and we will continue to collaborate and foster a culture of collaboration and continuous learning with our stakeholders from across different areas, following also the theme of the conference, following a multidisciplinary approach. Towards that, we are innovating across three megatrends that are transforming our sector and also relating to the built environment. And these fall into solutions for climate mitigation and adaptation, circularity, as well as enhanced productivity. And as you can see in this slide, we We maintain a focus, actually enhance the focus on resilient and durable infrastructure as the challenges originating from climate change are becoming more pronounced. We are also offering and will continue to offer solutions for restoration and rehabilitation of the built environment. And all these would like to do while utilizing existing material streams, but also further utilizing recycled or circular material streams. And to do so, we aim to continue employing the latest tools that are available thanks to the digital transformation, either relating to automation or digitalization of processes and so forth. A quick note here, another thing we're very proud of in Titan is that we have digitized entirely the procedures, the manufacturing processes in almost half of our production locations globally, and we continue to do that, and we will soon have 100% digitize our manufacturing operations in the coming years. In this, towards achieving our goals for innovation, also for this reason, also we have launched a corporate venture capital with which aims to direct 40 million euros into new ideas, into high potential startups, and we have already begun with investments in a series of companies, of startups, with solutions that have to do from low carbon heat, providing low carbon heat, to utilizing CO2 for the production of novel construction materials, all the way to AI-inspired solutions for producing our products. And our value proposition to startups is that, and our approach is that we focus on strategic type kind of investments where our contribution can be more than financial. It can be access to technical resources, to know-how, as well also commercially related support. Last but not least, for innovation, our group R&D, which I am heading, as well as all our innovation capacities, focus on nurturing creativity and collaboration. Titan in Greece, we have pioneered 3D printing in the last few years. Also pioneered carbon capture for the cement sector in our country, as well as run many other initiatives that develop and aim to launch new low CO2 products. We run internal innovation culture activities. The latest is our ideation challenge, where we invite colleagues from across the group to share their innovative ideas. In the previous year challenge, we had approximately 10% of our colleagues across Titan in all our locations participate, and we found this is a great way to nurture and promote entrepreneurship within the group. And as mentioned earlier, we work very closely with academic partners, research institutes in Greece, in Europe, and elsewhere. We have been running industrial fellowships for PhDs and internships, and we have established long-term partnerships with some of the best universities and research centers in Greece, Europe, US, and elsewhere. Having said that, again, I thank you for your attention and thank you for your time, and congratulate the organizers of the conference for the successful organization. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Katsioti. Well, you always have to present us something very impressive, like the 3D printer in Greece. That's really impressive. Thank you for that. We see how we can use it. Now we proceed to Mrs. Dalkafouki Maria, who is the Chief Executive Officer at the Dalkafouki House Ltd. And she's providing us with most of the materials we need for restoring stone monuments. Thank you. Mrs. Alkafouki.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. First, I would like to thank Professor Moropoulou for the honorary invitation to this conference. I'm Maria Alkafouki. I created 20 years ago with my husband Aris Mikrou a company, and we specialized to restoration materials all those years. We never stopped to have only this object for the company. All those years, we have more than 500 projects in Greece and some abroad. And we have more than 10 executive collaboration with big factories, European factories, with restoration, with mortars and restoration materials. I want to say that the subject of this table, it's unique because we have to remember that under all those that we discuss here, and we ask, and we heard a lot of interesting things, and a lot of we have a lot of answers now, and maybe you create new questions after this conference. I don't want to speak about materials because the materials is something. It's the result of research from the university. And it's the result of the good work of factories, and they have the tools to do this. I just want to say that all those things is under human, is under people. And only a human can create new ideas, new materials, to respect the past and create the future. I think that this is the only thing I think about scientists and instructive and industry and society. We have to I think that our obligation is to learn to our children to respect the past and to give them a future, to create ideas and whatever they hope and imagine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Takafouki. It's debatable, of course, for how long we will remain humans. Because yes, I'm sorry, I will take the opportunity to say something. A very good friend of mine is the head of the Department of Biology in Democritus, Mr. Almirandis. And he has told me, Dr. Almirandis, actually, and he has told me that the evolution of human has ended. He cannot evolve anymore. That's it. So the next step would be that we'll become a combination, the only way to survive, of humans and not machines, but something digital like AI. Before we would imagine a machine, but it's not a machine. It's something, that's why the idea of Mr. Moropoulou and Evlogon proceeds, because to produce Evlogon, we will have to store data in a way that can recreate, can have a twin model of memory, identity, and all that. So imagine the evolution of humans towards something that will combine digital with human. So I put a question mark there about how this is going to be called human or not, but it will still be productive with a fantasy, with an identity, and with feelings, supposedly. Well, very interesting, thank you. So I go from there to Mrs. Hadjisava Erato, Associate Professor from Athens School of Fine Arts, and is actually the rector of the Athens School of Fine Arts. Mrs. Hadjisava.
Thank you so much, but I speak in Greece. Αξιότιμες κυρίες και κύριοι, Θα ήθελα να εκφράσω τις θερμές μου ευχαριστίες στην καθηγήτρια Τόνια Μοροπούλου για την τιμητική πρόσκληση να βρίσκομαι σήμερα ανάμεσά σας. Ανήκει στις προσωπικότητες που θαυμάζω και εκτιμώ πολύ. Είναι για μένα ιδιαίτερη τιμή να συμμετέχω σε αυτή τη συνάντηση, όπου έχουμε την ευκαιρία να εξετάσουμε από κοινού τη σημασία της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς και τον τρόπο με τον οποίο αυτή διασταυρώνεται με την τέχνη, την επιστήμη, τη βιομηχανία και την κοινωνία. Στη σύγχρονη εποχή, η πολιτιστική κληρονομιά δεν αποτελεί μόνο ένα αποτύπωμα του παρελθόντος, αλλά και ένα ζωντανό θεμέλιο της συλλογικής μας ταυτότητας, του τρόπου με τον οποίο αντιλαμβανόμαστε τον κόσμο και διαμορφώνουμε το μέλλον μας. Η διατήρηση αυτής της κληρονομιάς απαιτεί τη συνεργασία όλων των φορέων, επιστημόνων, καλλιτεχνών, βιομηχανίας και κοινωνίας, οι οποίοι συνδυάζουν τις γνώσεις τους, τις δεξιότητές τους και τις τεχνολογίες τους για να διασφαλίσουν την προστασία και την ανάδειξη αυτών των αντικειμένων πολιτιστικών αγαθών, ανεκτήμητων πολιτιστικών αγαθών. Στην εποχή της παγκοσμιοποίησης, η πολιτιστική κληρονομιά αντιμετωπίζει πολλές προκλήσεις. Από τις φυσικές καταστροφές έως τις ανθρώπινες επεμβάσεις και τους πολέμους. Η ανάγκη για συλλογική δράση είναι πιο επιτακτική από ποτέ. Η συνεργασία μεταξύ των επιστημόνων, των καλλιτεχνών και των κοινωνικών φορέων είναι απαραίτητη για την αποτελεσματική προστασία της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς. Στην πραγματικότητα, η πολιτιστική κληρονομιά δεν ανήκει μόνο στους ειδικούς. Αντίθετα, είναι ευθύνη όλων μας να συμβάλλουμε στη διατήρησή της και να αναδείξουμε ως ζωντανό και δυναμικό μέρος της καθημερινότητάς μας. Η επιστήμη και η τέχνη είναι συχνά αντιπαρατιθέμενες έννοιες. Η επιστήμη συνδέεται με τη λογική, την ανάλυση και τη μέθοδο, ενώ η τέχνη με την έμπνευση, τη φαντασία, το συναίσθημα και το κάλος. Ωστόσο, αυτή η αντίθεση είναι στην πραγματικότητα μία ψευδαίσθηση. Όπως ο Ζαν Νταλαμπέρ, συγγνώμη για το όνομα, σημείωσε στην εγκυκλοπαίδεια, οι επιστήμες, οι τέχνες αλληλοβοηθούνται αμοιβαία και υπάρχει μία αλυσίδα που τις ενώνει. Δεν μπορεί να υπάρξει επιστημονική πρόοδος χωρίς την έμπνευση και τη δημιουργικότητα που προάγει η τέχνη, ούτε μπορεί να υπάρξει τέχνη χωρίς τις μεθόδους και τα εργαλεία της επιστήμης. Η σύγχρονη τεχνολογία μέσω της ψηφιοποίησης έχει ανοίξει νέους δρόμους για την προστασία και την παρουσίαση της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς. Η ψηφιοποίηση δεν είναι απλώς μία τεχνική διαδικασία, αλλά μία νέα μορφή ερμηνείας και επανερμηνείας του παρελθόντος, η οποία επιτρέπει στους πολίτες να συμμετέχουν ενεργά στη διατήρηση και αναζωογόνηση του πολιτιστικού μας πλούτου. Ένα εξαιρετικό παράδειγμα αυτής της σύζευξης μεταξύ τέχνης και επιστήμης είναι το έργο του Ιταλού γλύπτη Λορέντζο Κουίνι. Λεμάνι, τα χέρια, το οποίο παρουσιάστηκε στην Biennale της Βενετίας το 2019. Με αυτό το γλυπτό, ο Κουίνι μας καλεί να χτίσουμε γέφυρες μεταξύ των διαφορετικών κόσμων και να ενώνουμε την επιστήμη με την τέχνη για την προστασία της πολιτιστικής μας κληρονομιάς. Τα χέρια που ενώνονται στο γλυπτό συμβολίζουν τη συνεργασία, τη σύνδεση και τη δύναμη που προκύπτει όταν διαφορετικοί τομείς ενώνονται για ένα κοινό σκοπό. Η πολιτιστική κληρονομιά έχει βαθύ κοινωνικό και πολιτικό νόημα. Δεν είναι απλώς κάτι που έχουμε κληρονομήσει από το παρελθόν, αλλά είναι ζωντανή και ενεργή στο παρόν, με αντίκτυπο το μέλλον. Στο σύγχρονο κόσμο, η έννοια της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς επηρεάζεται έντονα από τις προκλήσεις της παγκοσμιοποίησης, της πολιτισμικότητας, και βλέπουμε ότι οι πολιτιστικές διαφορές είναι οι συγκρούσεις που προκύπτουν από αυτές τις διαδικασίες, θέτουν σε κίνδυνο τη διατήρηση της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς των εθνών. Η παγκοσμιοποίηση, ενώ ενισχύει την επικοινωνία και την ανταλλαγή ιδεών μεταξύ των λαών, μπορεί επίσης να μειώσει την αξία και την αναγνώριση των τοπικών πολιτιστικών ταυτοτήτων. Απ' την άλλη πλευρά, η πολυπολιτισμικότητα, αν και αποδέχεται και προάγει την πολιτιστική διαφοροποίηση, μπορεί να δημιουργήσει αντιφάσεις σχετικά με το ποιος είναι υπεύθυνος για τη διατήρηση της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς κάθε έθνους. Η αναγνώριση της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς και η διατήρηση της ταυτότητας των λαών είναι βασικό στοιχείο της κοινωνικής δικαιοσύνης και της ενσωμάτωσης. Δεν πρόκειται απλώς για την προστασία των υλικών αντικειμένων ή των παραδόσεων, αλλά και για τη διατήρηση των αξιών και των πεποιθήσεων που τα συνδέουν με τις κοινωνίες που τα δημιούργησαν. Κυρίες και κύριοι, η πολιτιστική κληρονομιά είναι μια ζωντανή δυναμική και συνεχώς εξελισσόμενη πραγματικότητα. Η συνεργασία μεταξύ τέχνης και επιστήμης, της βιομηχανίας και της κοινωνίας είναι αναγκαία για να προστατευτεί και να αναδειχθεί. Η γέφυρα που ενώνει αυτούς τους τομείς είναι η κοινή μας ευθύνη να διαφυλάξουμε τη μνήμη του παρελθόντος και να εξασφαλίσουμε ένα βιώσιμο μέλλον για τις επόμενες γενιές. Το μέλλον της πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς δεν ανήκει μόνο στους ειδικούς, αλλά σε όλους μας. Ο διάλογος και η συνεργασία μεταξύ των διαφορετικών φορέων είναι η μοναδική οδός προς μια καλύτερη, πιο συνειδητοποιημένη και βιώσιμη κοινωνία. Σας ευχαριστώ.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hadisaba. Of course, we all say that art will save the world. But thank you for the perspective, from your perspective. And now I'm very happy and proud to ask Mr. to present Mr. Dimitrios Kalabakos, who is a professor, and not only, at National Technical University of Athens. Of course you can. Standing up is always better. Yes, it's better for their voice as well. So, please, come to the floor.
Can I have a clicker? Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you very much for being here. Tonya, I would like to deeply thank you for inviting me to give a brief introduction in this very interesting discussion. Ms. Moropoulou is a pioneer engineer, a pioneer scientist, a professor at the National Technical University of Athens, and a woman. Because some issues, some very old issues, I'm afraid that they are not solved in our modern society, and this is good to recall some things. Amalia raised some very interesting questions in the beginning of this panel, and I would like to answer to some of them without referring to any of that, by using the example of Lavrion Technological and Cultural Park, because it is a paradigm, it is an answer in flesh for bridging the gaps, the various gaps between the scientific community and the local community, between technology and science, between science and art, and so on and so forth. So I will follow the instruction, 5 slides, 5 minutes, for a very big history. The place in Lavrion dates back thousands of years, literally thousands of years. But we can get in this history in a flash with 4 stops. First stop, the glorious past and the ancient Athens and the role that the minds and the miners of the past played at this spectacular development of the science and art during the 5th century. Second stop, the first industrial revolution, which took place in Lavrion with the Compagnie Française des Mines de l'Orium, the well-known French mining company, who played an important role in our history. So, first industrial revolution took place in Lavrion. The second industrial revolution took place in the same place. And as it happened in so many cases worldwide, in so many original places of industrial activity, the third industrial revolution put all these places aside, giving severe problems, environmental problems, social problems, economic problems. This is where the National Technical University of Athens comes in the scene. In order to restore the facilities of the former French mining company with a four-folded goal. First goal, of course, to deal with the severe environmental problem. It's a very interesting story, but let's put it aside because the focus of this panel is somewhere else. The second thing is to restore, to save the industrial heritage inherent in this site, which is valuable. The third goal, and this is also interesting, is to prolong the productive life of this place by putting it again in the forefront of the fourth industrial revolution. This is the core idea. Not to use these magnificent buildings as buildings for just cultural events, but to give them life again, productive life. This is one of the most ambitious stories, but let's put it aside again, because the fourth goal is much more interesting in our discussion now. And this goal is to cultivate the interface between technology and culture. I'm going to give you only two examples for that, giving an idea. First example, this Prometheus game jam. We called all these very interesting, creative community in Greece with very talented men and women, young men and women, in order to develop a computer game, a video game, having as a subject the Prometheus, the symbol of the National Technical University of Athens. It is an amazing experience, and they produced excellent things within 48 hours. And my last slide, and another example, is our continuous work on the identity of the miners. Miners is such a special case in working class. They are very close to what we mean in industrial revolution, the first and the second one. But tracing their identity through art, through their songs, through the movies related to them, through the literature, is something that gave us the strongest bond with the local community. A community of miners, the first and probably the only original company town in Greece. So all the strong relation we've built up with the community, it is done by this way. By tracing the identity of their fathers, the grandfathers, and women related to mining. That's all. I mean, I will keep the 5 minutes. I would like to be brief because I have an idea that discussion is not the sum of monologues. If we have a second round, I can be more to the point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kalabakos, for the excellent job you have done at the facilities that they are owned by the Ministry of Culture and have been given to the National Technical. Actually, you have done great work there. May I say something? You began with the first revolution of industrial revolution. It's the third, actually, what you call the first. The first one was between 2000 and 1200 BC. The first of Lavrion and of Greece. The second one was between the 6th century and 4th century BC in Lavrion. And the third one, you begin with the third one. And it's important because Lavrion is unique. You have the whole history of metallurgy, of the evolution of metallurgy. So it is unique. Sorry. Something about it. It was about towers, but flying, yeah. So thank you so much. And we proceed with Mrs. Titopoulou, Effie, who is the president of the Greek Women's Engineering Association, EDEM.
Good afternoon from okay, I'm very honored to be with you, and I would like, of course, to thank Professor Moropoulou for inviting us, the Greek Women Engineering Association, and me as president here in this very significant conference. First of all, I would like to say a few words for our association. It is established in 1995, and our members, which are about 1,500 now, are Greek women engineers and all members of the Technical Chamber of Greece. I have to mention that we have a very good cooperation with the Technical Chamber of Greece, and of course with Professor Moropoulou, who is also the Vice President. Our main purposes is to facing gender stereotypes, mentoring and training to enhance women engineers' chance of employment, cooperating with other organizations and public bodies with our institutional role. And we also want to encourage and promoting activities of women engineers beyond their professional sphere, artistic creation, cultural activities, and initiative. I have to mention that the EDEM has implemented a lot of AU projects and also other activities that combine science with culture. Also, as EDEM, we participate in networks and associations which promote gender equality policies in Europe, like the European Association for Women in Science, Engineering and Technology, WITEC, the European Federation of Mentoring of Women and Girls, WeMentor, and the European Platform of Women Scientists, APWS. Going to our subject now, I would like to say that Greece is full of history. Ancient civilization revealed democracy, mathematics, architecture, and engineering. It is our challenge today to bridge this remarkable heritage with the frontiers of science and industry. We must secure that the rapid achievements of technology continues to build upon our past history, and that our cultural history is not going to be threatened. To do this, we must foster collaboration among all stakeholders. In terms of diversity, it is essential that women's engineers' perspectives and expertise are at the forefront of this dialogue. Together, we can develop methodologies that incorporate traditional knowledge and technique in modern application to create sustainable practices in industry. We can use digital technologies and artificial intelligence to preserve our cultural heritage. And for example, what about if we create virtual museums that can bring our history to classrooms around the world, educating and inspiring future generations in the same time? As the president of Greek Women Engineer Association, I declare that we want to participate in this dialogue and to work hand in hand, shaping a future where heritage, science and industry coexist for the benefit of society and the environment. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. If I'm not wrong, this is about everybody that in this panel. So are there any questions? Okay. I'm sorry, we don't have the lady which was going to do the rapporteur. I can do a few things if we have time, but because we were running to talk again, which is even better, yes. I have kept some notes, but it's even better if they talk. Yes, please, the question. Yes. You can use one of the microphones, which is just behind you, since you are in the front row.
Thank you. I wanted to thank Professor Moropoulou for having organized that. As a historian of philosophy, I would like to add something which would be of your interest at the university, at the Polytechnic School, which is supposed to be the best school in Europe, according to European standards. And recently, in this conference, a colleague of mine from the United States presented his project about Plato's itineraries and how we could revive them. One of the most important questions that Jeff Bakewell has raised is what is the itinerary for the well-known myth in the Republic of the Spileon. That's the most important question he raised, and he came up with the Republic myth on the Spileon. Yes, yes. This is the myth in the Republic, which is the most well-known. Jeff Bakewell presented something in this conference on the itineraries. Anyway, in order to relate Lavrion with this question, Jeff Bakewell is the first one who came up with the idea that the scenery for this myth is no other than Lavrion. And actually, there is and he has very, very good evidence for that. And he came into contact with all the archaeologists, and especially, so I wanted to put you into contact with him for another reason. In Madrid, in less than a month, there will be a procedure in order to vote for the next place where the Republic and the Plato's Republic will be discussed. And I wished that the Polytechnic School, yes, so I will propose that to the Greek embassy, because I think that this is the most appropriate place where the conference can take place. I mean, the Lavrion, your institution. And I do have a previous experience from another extremely important building in Hania, which is owned by the Mediterranean
Center of Architecture,
yes.
Arsenali. Okay,
yes, and this could be a continuation of this tradition. And we will have scholars from all over the world. They are more than 400, and they all want to discuss the Republic and its urban, let's say, consequences. So I think it would be a good idea to put the Dean and Professor Moropoulou in this project. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, even though I think you make hips from one thing to another. But somehow, of course, everything is connected, and art can help us on that a lot. Maybe the Spilleon is one of the first digital, virtual reality things. So it's not exactly a cave, because at Lavrio we don't have caves, exactly. We have tunnels, which is a bit different. You have a lot of galleries, but not, yes. But it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor, or a parabole or something. Yes. Yes. Yeah. But it is interesting that instead of understanding what it means, Spilleon, they want to find the actual place where it must have been. Yes. There is a question there for me. But to come to Lavrion, it would be great, apart from the fact that there are not great big hotels around. So there are, okay, if you can solve that would be great. Thank you for that. Any question, or if someone wants to add to our knowledge? Okay, so do you want to make any comments on what you have previously said, Mrs. Dalkafouki? Because I have replied to you, so maybe you want to comment on that, or you don't want to think about humans, digital humans.
No, I just want to say that I don't know your name. You gave us the opportunity to say again that we have to connect. So this is the point of view.
Well, I was expecting that. Of course you can. And I was wondering.
So far as art, science, industry, and society concerned, I'm taking just only half of the title of the panel. There are two very important European research infrastructures. I don't know if you are aware about them. The one is Daria, and the other one is Clarin. The one is covering the area of humanities, and the other one, the area of social sciences, but both of them, because of the digital era, they preach, okay, there is an overlap in between the two infrastructures, but they are powered from the digital dimension, from the engineering, yeah, from the informatics, from the ICT. Having that in place, I know that in Greece, or Greece is in both research infrastructures a partner. In these infrastructures is not an institution the partner, is the ministry the partner. And not only that, but the country is represented by a ministry which is in charge and pays also, covers also the cost, a year membership fee, and from a national coordinator. So the national coordinator some time ago was the Academy of Science and Arts, I think, the Greek Academy. And then later was Athena behind, Athena or whatever, the research institution. So now, out of these two research infrastructures here in Greece, they merged them and they did the, I think, Daria, and Clarin, it was merged and is the Claria Greece. And the management at the moment, if I am not wrong, is under Athena Research, whatever. Now, do you have there any contact to them? Are you linked to them? Are you collaborating with them? Are you, because all this, what it has been discussed here now, it is actually a part and a duty of those European research infrastructures. And even as stakeholders, all those under the roof of humanities and social sciences in a wider extended version of this what you, part of you defined today. So it is extremely important on a pan-European scale, if you want to be one of the key players there, not only in policy, not only in innovation, in research, in development, and so on, in education, you have to join forces and ask Greece to be there. That's the number one. Number two, I mentioned that also yesterday, and I'm finishing, because it's also the last panel. You know, there is no museum of this world where in a permanent exhibition you will not find the Greek civilization. What does this mean? It means automatically that the country, Greece, is overdeveloped so far as cultural heritage concerned. Is overdeveloped. It's like Germany in engineering. But you know what Germany in engineering is doing so far as economic growth concerned on a pan-European scale. So now, what is, and I'm asking you, or if not, if you don't know, just only think, brainstorm about that in the next few days. What is in the percentage in GDP that Greece is investing for the digitization of its culture? Digitization, it doesn't mean just protection, it doesn't mean preservation, it means also visualization, it means, you know, make it available so that everybody knows what Greece means, the values, yeah, of Greece and so on. So what is that percentage? It was a very good approach or attempt what Greece did with Microsoft, with Olympia during the Olympic Games, but it was just only one attempt. And a similar attempt was also in the Olympic Games in Greece during the Simitis government. And then after the Simitis government was gone, then everything was gone also. It's in there now somewhere in the dark internet to find whatever it was happened on that time. So do you know something about that? Or are you aware about this?
First, I will call the panel, someone from the panelists. If you want to answer or to contribute to what Mr. Yes, already said.
Remarks, comments, answers, whatever.
But otherwise, okay. The first one, I suppose these two organizations, or which is now one, they should make a greater effort to manifest themselves so that we will know them. Because so far I haven't heard of them, but maybe they should work harder. The second one, well, I don't know about there of Mr. Smith. It was a bit confusing. What we do, as I said before, maybe, I don't know if you were here, I said that we already know, and it is true, it is a case, that the cultural, our heritage, historical heritage, and the monuments, and the way we preserve them, and the way we introduce them to the people, has made cultural heritage the fourth pillar of our economical growth. We're aware about that, and we can measure it as well. We say it's the fourth pillar, they're equal pillars, it's just that they put others in the first, and ours it's the fourth, but they're equal pillars. Otherwise it would be a tripod, it's not very stable. So with the four, it's stable. It is the fourth that stabilizes everything. Yes, we do a lot of digital. As you know, it's not just to make it digital, because as I said, we've passed the period of documentation, which is actually what digitalization has gone through, documentation, and then you go to enhancement to show it to other people, and now we have to proceed to how we go to the memory twin. I'm very impressed of that. I cannot stop repeating it, Mrs. Moropoulou. because I think this is what we have to try to understand and look forward. And what Mr. Kaliabakos has presented us is very close to that, how you give back to the people that have created, that have worked in these areas, how you give them back not just the memory, but the use, and bring it to our days, that you give them back their past. That means that they go on and they have a future. And congratulations for that. We are building a museum. I'm not very fond of museums, because I think a museum, as it was, it's changing now, is something which is just to see, not to experience. It's a Greek invention. It's not a Greek invention, it's a colonist invention. But the museum, as a Greek, it was something different. It's a place to be inspired. That is what it was originally. So a place to be inspired is the Lavrion. A place to inspire, again, is the monastery of Varnakova, which has been restored with the help of Mrs. Dalkafuki Materials, who goes around the world to find the best for us. From the academic point of view, we've heard the view of the more academic, the more theoretical view of Mr. Stylianou, of what we must do. Also Mrs. Tritopoulou has showed us the will to help. I think they're already doing it. Women or not, the engineers in this country have a big part. Maybe I'm an architect, so some architects, we now feel that we are in risk of not being the chief of the top of a project. So engineers do a lot of work, all different types of engineers. And art, as I said, we are trying to do a restoration as in a state of art, but art is what we preserve, we try to preserve as well, and we try to understand mostly. So thank you very much also for your presentation. And of course, they are all renovative, the new things that we've heard. We always hear something new for Mr. Katsiotis. CO-free cement, that's really a renovation. Yeah, it's really, and probably it's the most hopeful innovation that I have heard in recent years in climate mitigation. It's really impressive. Of course, only a small amount is produced now, but hopefully it will be better. And this is because we have projects like Ellinikon ahead, which is, I don't know how many tons of beton. So hopefully they will use this CO-free concrete. Yes, please, Mr. Kaliabakos, help me.
I understand that we're running out of time, but I would like to point out three things within a minute. You know, I'm a little bit fed up with hearing very big words about the significance of our civilization and the importance that our society is giving to this. Because the real question is how much money is allocated to that. And the numbers do not support the big words. This is the real thing. If we are to measure the real importance that our society gives to the civilization and the art, ask for how much money is allocated to that. And I'm afraid that is not enough. It is less than enough. First thing. Second thing, I'm an engineer, but I do believe that history can be very fascinating, very deeply teaching. Because it's like a tale, sometimes is more interesting than a tale, and it is real. If you find a good way to present history, can be the most interesting and funny thing. And at the same time, it can teach a lot. And the third thing I would like to point out is an answer for me, what is art? I'm following the Heidegger's approach to that. Art is not something amusing. Art is a different and alternative path of revealing the truth. So we should pay attention to art and grab the meanings in a different way, but they're very significant to understand the life, the meaning of it, and so many other things. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kalabakos, to have a mining engineer to contribute to art. What is this is about collaboration and interdisciplinarity, and thank you so much for that. I couldn't find a better way to close this panel. So thank you very much for everything, and thank you, Mrs. Moropoulou, for the opportunity to give us that we deal with all those things and we meet each other. Thank you.
I thank you very much, all of you, because bridging heritage stakeholders with art, science, industry, and society means, as Dimitris said, bridging gaps. And there are a lot of gaps to bridge. To keep heritage alive, we have more specifically and with a priority to bridge the gap with society. And all the other dynamics will promote this effort and this relationship, which is the critical one. And I'm very glad to hear from a man that the identity of woman might contribute to this. Believe me, my experiences in Hagia Sophia and in the Holy Sepulchre, where we should promote a multilateral cooperation and mutual understanding among people in conflict, among different religions, among different strategies, was a very difficult issue. But monuments could unite people and diversified approaches. Today they are in war in Gaza, but the message of the Holy Sepulchre, especially expressed these days, is for peace. And I would like to say that through Evlogon, we, through the national network we have started to establish, would like to bridge these types of gaps and give this perspective. So I thank you very much for your contribution. Be there for the photo of the conference, and we continue with the final session of the conference.